Now, we've all heard someone say that I'm against abortion except in cases of rape. Try saying that to my next guest. She was conceived in rape, and she's made it her mission to change minds that babies like her deserve to be born too. Rebecca Kiesling joins me now. Rebecca, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
We're 39 years away from Roe versus Wade decision of the Supreme Court. A lot of people who consider themselves pro-life say, except for cases of rape, incest, life to the mother. I want to talk about your story. You were adopted. You started looking for your birth parents, and what did you find out?
I found out that I was conceived when my birth mother was abducted by a serial rapist. And it was a worst case scenario. She's 4'10", really petite, single mom heading to the grocery store at night. And that's how I was conceived. And
then your mother, your birth mother, gave you up for adoption. You were adopted by a family. And when you confronted the adopted family about your past and the fact that you were the victim of rape, tell me what your stepfather said to you. How did that conversation happen?
Well, my adoptive father, I asked him how he felt about abortion, because of course that's the first thing I thought of. And he said to me, well, I always felt like it should be a woman's choice. And I said, you mean that you think that the totality of my entire existence wasn't worth having to put her through the 8 months from the time she found out she was pregnant? Like, you've witnessed my whole life. You think my life wasn't worth it? And he instantly said, no, I don't believe that. And he thought, gosh, how would I ever get to the point where I would believe such a thing? And he had been a professor, and he just felt like on campus it was just expected, that's, you know, to be pro-choice.
Rebecca, you are featured in The Gift of Life, which is a movie that I had a part in helping bring to the screen. It's a powerful story, and the whole video to me is powerful, but your particular piece of it just stunned me, and it was so very immense, but it had an impact on someone else, Governor Rick Perry, who saw it in Iowa, met you in Iowa, and it so changed him that the very next day he made a decision and publicly announced it. Then in South Carolina this week, he had this to say, and I want us to take a look at it.
I've always been a very pro-life legislator and lieutenant governor and governor. And I did have the exceptions for rape and incest historically. And sitting down with an individual who, Rebecca Kiesling, who was a product of rape. And we had a long and a heartfelt conversation. And she looked me in the eye and she said, Governor, are you telling me that, she said, I understand your concern about the issue and having an exception for rape and for incest. But she said, are you telling me that my life is not just as important? And I didn't have an answer for her. And she touched my heart in a way that at that particular point in time, I realized that if you're going to be pro-life, you got to be pro-life. You can't be partly pro-life.
Rebecca, you're seeing that for the first time, Governor Perry's comments this past week in South Carolina. How does it make you feel to hear that your story from the movie Gift of Life had that kind of impact on a governor and a presidential candidate?
I've been doing speaking for a long time, and that night he told me that I had changed his heart, and it was what I would call an Esther moment for me. And just one of the greatest moments of my pro-life ministry. And then for him to come out and to publicly share what had privately occurred within his heart was an absolute blessing. He didn't have to do that.
You know, your testimony in the movie is one that obviously we don't have time to go into in the detail that I wish. But after all these years, if there's one hope that you have, one goal, what is it?
I'm so thankful my life was spared, but it was for a reason. And it would be pretty selfish to not do anything in response. And so I want to see others protected too. I'm alive because of people who protected me, who are my heroes. And my goal is to be a hero to others. And I want to see abortion ended. I'm a huge supporter of personhood amendments, as you are, which
As
I
am I.
really appreciate.
Well, I appreciate you, Rebecca, and I want to say that I want you to see the Gift of Life movie, if for no other reason, to see the full testimony of Rebecca Kiesling. It is so powerful, along with the stories of many, many other people, and you can get it. You go to my website, MikeHuckabee.com. There's a link directly to the Gift of Life, and Rebecca's story will touch you and move you and make you think in ways you haven't before.